Three bitches.
Technically, you have. Well, I guess you do have three, but one's out of town.
Well, I guess. I don't know. The fuck? Oh, there it is. All right. Doing mementos, poor favors. 1 second.
How many favors? I'm very confused. I don't know if I can count that high.
I don't know what's poor.
Four?
Yeah, I said poor favors. So.
Please favors, mucho favors, all the favors.
Yep,
Give me a
that's right.
favor. How many favors can I count?
11 billion D.
It's a fair number.
Yes. Oh, God. Yes, I was at the country club, and unfortunately the kids section was all filled up, so my mom had to, we had to eat in the grown-up section, and Finn was Finn, so, yeah.
So y'all had a fun time.
I don't know about the rest of them, but I found relaxation in a lot of cups.
The only true way to escape from your reality forever.
Hey, the Facebook auto whatchamacallit? Auto caption tool is doing pretty good.
Nice.
All right. Anyways, I got this thing. We do this thing. We got to do this thing.
Oh, I'm doing a thing.
Yeah.
Yes, there are things happening, I hear.
I do want to apologize if people are looking for reviews and stuff and they haven't seen Jack Diddley from me. It's not that I don't want to put stuff out, is that my allergies are so effed up right now that I can barely think straight. So if you see me literally just drowning in whatever is in this cup, which is Mountain Dew, that's why, because I have to keep a steady stream of liquids in me. Otherwise, I will sound really bad and start hacking up a lung.
Don't die, you. At least for the next hour and 15 minutes. Actually, probably until you have another adult in the house, because
True.
that can make life very interesting.
Well, let's just say I actually got to the point where I threw in the towel and went to the doc in the box for the doc in the box to tell me exactly what I already knew, but I just needed some affirmation. That, of course, is you have allergies. I'm like, yeah, I know.
You're pretty much fantastic. Mr. Allergy. What do you do?
Dude, my sinuses are so jacked, it's not even... anyways. All right. Let's do this thing. Let's do that. All right, gonna mute Zelia. Wait, actually, Zelia's talk real quick.
Yo, 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 what's up?
Perfect. Okay. Gonna mute Zelia's, then we'll start the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
It is indeed a Thursday, because there's a day that ends with Y, but it's not one of the other 6 days of the week.
Well, it has a third in it, so...
Saturday?
Saturday?
Something?
Sure. Anyways,
okay, I give up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a live show where we try our best to cover the topics most important to you. If, of course, you at any point during the show want to add to the topics or questions of the show, all you got to do is drop in the chat, and we'll try our best to cover them during the show. If we unfortunately do run out of time, we'll try to add it to the very next show. So here we go. So I have quite a few questions that were asked of me this past week, and so I figured
42.
Unfortunately, I don't think any of those are going to work, but we could try. Let's see if 42 applies to any of these.
And it's the answer to the universe. What more do you need, sir?
Actually, the first one is not a question. It is literally an article that came out, or I guess a news story that came out at the beginning of the month, and we missed it last week. So I want to circle back and get it. And that is that, you know, the wonderful Activision Blizzard craziness that's always happening around the world.
Yes.
It turns out that Activision may have illegally fired some of their game testers for refusing to go back to in-person work.
I'd be shocked.
I could feel the sarcasm from here. Yes, apparently at least 2 and maybe more were fired because they did not feel safe about returning to in-person after, of course, working remotely for the past 2 years.
Is it actually illegal to do that?
Yes.
I did not know that. I mean, because tons of people have been like let go or fired because of it at other companies.
I think most employers, if the employee doesn't return, they do a severance package.
I mean, education doesn't give a shit.
Well, yeah, the education's a different thing, but
I mean, there's tons of companies where it's their contracts have changed and it's tough cookies. I mean,
but I think that's the thing that when when they originally became testers, I believe the contract stated remote work, and I think that because they were changing the wording of the contract, that's where they got in trouble.
Yeah, I guess the question is like, do contracts renew? You know, like.
I think if a contract renews, and Zelius, you are very aware of this, that sometimes contracts get reworded, they get reworked when it comes up for the renewal of said contracts. I have not had to deal with that, so I wouldn't know. But especially when you work in the education system, my understanding is that
like every year.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess like if you have like a contract and it gets like changed randomly outside of contract time, then that's different.
But I think it also has to be agreed upon, right?
Well, I mean, I read stories
rewrite the EULA without having people accept it.
I read stories all the time online of people who get hired for what's supposed to be remote work. They get hired, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, by remote, we meant in the office 3 days, and you can maybe work from home the other 2 days.
See,
that's an all too common occurrence.
And the sad thing is, the vast majority of those jobs, the individual who got suckered into it is not going to have enough money to afford an attorney, so they're just going to have to suck it up and do it.
Well, it doesn't help that in our lovely country that normally the rights are not in our favor whatsoever, so you're pretty much hosed.
Oh yeah, no, it's the big companies. It's in favor of capitalism. They don't want the little guys to what is it called? Upset the apple cart.
I mean, if HR was smart, then they would just fire them without cause, without actually saying anything about remote versus in person. Right. And then it's like, because pretty much every state, there's like one that's not. It's you can be fired at any time for any reason.
Well, not any reason.
Well, not give a reason, I should say.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can be very vague about the reason. That basically, it has come to our attention that we no longer require your assistance on said project, so we're letting you go.
Exactly. Like if you're smart as a company, that's what you do. You don't actually give a reason.
The less you can, oh my gosh, why can't I say this correctly? This is going to come out wrong. The lesser, the fewer facts that you give, concrete facts that you give for the reason why you're terminating a contract, the better it is, because vagueness is a big company's best friend, and that's what they do. They're vague.
I mean, well, and you look at the like big tech companies laying off like 10,000 people. They're probably not giving reasons. They're just, here you go, see the door.
The market the market is, it's showing a change, and therefore we do not feel safe supporting this large of a employee base. Thank you for your services.
I mean, we overhired about 10,000 people. That's just a minor correction we're taking.
Yes, we overshot what we thought was going to be required to could make this. Well, actually, no. What happens is, in a lot of things, is you've got a humongous project that is make or break for the company, so they swell the ranks up to make sure that they get that project exactly where it needs to be on the deadline. And once it's there and now they're established, they can get rid of basically a quarter of the people they hired because now they're good. They've got an established product. Now they all got, a lot of the companies, all they got to do is just do patches and updates.
Well, the other reality too is it's also the answering to the Wall Street.
Right.
When you have a large headcount, regardless of their productivity or how useful they are, you always need to be making more monies because just X profit is not enough. It has to be X times 2 profit at all times.
Times 2, times 4, dude.
I was trying to be nice, man. But that is the other reality is there's always the pressure, regardless of their need, to just fire people to make more monies.
Agreed. Yeah, they can't state, I'm sorry, our company wants to turn more of a profit, therefore we're letting you go.
Hey, at least to be telling the truth.
Yes, but wouldn't that be a breath of fresh air?
It'd be like, well, okay, I can't really argue with that one. All right, at least you're being honest. That's different. I'll take that.
It hurts, but I understand, especially in a capitalistic society, that's what everyone's trying to do. So, yeah, that sucks balls, but thank you.
I mean, infinite growth forever and ever, right?
If only that's the way the world worked. Oh. Or, once you have the job, you get to keep it as long as you want it.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, that gets into a whole area of interestingness. Because, like, I mean, if we're going off on that tangent, like myself, take my current job. I would think it's something that I could basically do forever and I'd be fine in. But, like, I'm not going to just start slacking off, even though I know that I'm secure in that job. But the other side of the argument is, which I don't really think is very true, honestly, is like, oh, if people know that they'll basically have their jobs forever, they're just going to slack off and not really do it. So we always have to be holding people's feet to the fires.
No, I understand that. If you're not, if you're not pulling your weight, then by all means, your ass is grass. However, if you're doing what you're asked to do, then, that's what I'm saying.
Most adults, like, do what's required of them. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
There's always exceptions. I get that. But for the most part, everyone I've encountered pretty much does what they need to.
Yes.
It's usually not an issue.
Yes. Now, I've definitely dealt with individuals who know how to do exactly what they need to do, and then they lack interpersonal skills and piss off a lot of people. That's a good reason that maybe you need to leave the company.
Yeah, that can be tricky. And especially like working remote versus in person gives a very different interaction in those regards, for better or for worse.
And I don't mean to be mean, but if you've ever gone to a convention, you understand that being virtual and being in person can be very different to interactions between human beings.
Oh, yeah.
All I'm saying is deodorant.
You can smell me through my microphone? That's creepy, yeah.
No, not you. You're fine. But there are certain individuals at conventions that you're just like, you just want to give them a gift card to like Target or the pharmacy section. Just like, look, man, I'll even give you a how-to video. Please.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
Ultra Confusion used for conventions.
Ultra Confusion deodorant?
Yes! Yeah, I mean, like Old Spice is already red, so just slap the sticker on there. Boom.
See if I can get a bunch of the demo things and just slap the Ultra Confusion logo on top of it.
Every time like people start going to hotels, ask for like a courtesy deodorant from the front desk and just start collecting them. And that's what you give out. Hell, do it yourself. Actually, do it to all of the stuff. Every time like all your friends and family go, just have them get all the swag of any like good body stuff. Be the body lotion, the deodorant, doesn't matter what it is.
Get shampoo, conditioner, lotion, toothpaste.
Give it out to people.
Hairnet. Yeah. Ooh. Shower cap. Sorry, shower cap. You might have something there.
Sounds like a new micro marketing technique.
Yeah.
And then on this other side of the hairnet, I have knives. Can offer you some.
Oh dear God.
They're branded though.
So last week, I'm trying to remember what exactly we named the show last week, but everybody has been laughing their ass off. What the hell did I call it? I'm trying to remember. Oh yes, Verify with VHS cassette was the name of our last episode, and
nice.
Apparently it's a fan favorite. So
it's a harken back. It's getting me prepared for Stranger Things season 5.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into some of these questions that were asked. Most of them were asked during different live streams I've been doing, as well as some of the some off-air stuff. So the first question that...
By the way, I think your cough is contagious. Damn.
Sorry, man. It's this. Notice that my voice has already changed. It's become more nasally within the 16 minutes that we've been live. So, yeah.
All right. First question.
All right. First question is, how much, in your opinion, how much do bots actually affect gameplay in MMOs?
Me personally, very little, because most of the bot interaction really comes down to the market house. In my experience, is they're basically farming materials and all that blah 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 to basically get materials and stuff for the market house. And I've in MMOs, I've never been much of a market house person. Like some people play the market house, like that's their game. Me, I'm like, I only really play the market house like if there's something I need, like, oh crap, I need 20 potions of this certain type to go on a raid, or like, oh, I'm crafting to level up my armor smithing. I just need to buy some ore off of it. So like that's the extent really that I play the market house or auction house, whatever you're calling it these days.
Right.
So for me personally, I'm pretty much like, nah, like it's not a good thing to have bots doing it, but in the end, it really doesn't affect me. And I feel like I don't see bots as much as I used to also. I'm sure they still exist. I remember the old days of like World of Warcraft and when like 14 Final Fantasy came out, like it would be very obvious.
Yeah.
They see the character do the exact same rotation. And like sometimes you're like, wow, that's pretty obvious. So I guess bots have also maybe become a little bit more smarter and incognito in their ways.
Well, Blizzard did just kick off 10,000 undead bots off one of their servers.
No, there goes my bot phone.
Oh my God! Look, the thing is, like, you're right. I think that in certain respects, I think that bots are an issue when it comes to, or could potentially be an issue when it comes to things like the marketplace or whatever. It's not like the bots are stealing, rare drops or something. But there are definitely
most rare drops are either like gated behind like actually difficult mobs or like dungeons and other things that bots probably aren't going to do.
Yeah. Now that being said, there was, I don't know if do people still buy characters?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Because I mean, like, I understand, like, you basically having a bot that literally does exactly what South Park did in Make Love Not Warcraft, where they're literally just killing boars in the woods for like hours on end to like raise the level.
Yep.
And then you turn around and make a profit. That.
I mean, it was definitely a thing when I was playing. I remember, like you could sell, your level 80, actually, no, sorry, level 60 character geared up and stuff.
Yep.
And like, it was first take. Yeah, I just took a quick cut. I was just curious, like, World of Warcraft character on eBay, and I don't see anything.
Yeah.
At least.
No, eBay put a stop to that.
So much I paid attention, but
No,
definitely
yeah,
was the thing.
I don't think I think eBay's completely hands off when it comes to completely digital um, IP when it pertains to another game's IP, so that you won't see anything from like people selling shit from.
Well, I think what you see now though is you see boosting services.
Yes.
So like I know in like when I played Overwatch, it was definitely a big thing. Like I just looked and I can get a World of Warcraft boost through dungeons and heroic raids and other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's definitely ways that. So I guess now that's the deal. Is instead of basically buying characters,
The
what you
boost.
used to do back in the day, now you get a boost. Like they log in as your character.
Mm-hmm.
And either there's a certain level, it's based on how much it is. If you want to watch them as they do it, because you can party up with them, there's all kinds of like different services you can get that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
When I was just like curious of going down that rabbit hole. I never have actually done it, but I've been very intrigued of like, what does this actually cost? And it's like, it's affordable and yet not cheap at the same time.
Right.
Like, I mean, probably people of our age could afford to get boosted if they wanted to, but like it would also raise a very large question mark of like, why did you spend this money? Because this really stands out. So you could do it, but it's not something I'd recommend. Because the other big issue, of course, is one of the reasons you do it yourself is you learn the mechanics of that character and how to play it and all those different things. And if you get boosted, well, you're obviously not going to know those things. So that's another major issue.
Right. Which you talking about learning how to, the way your character is and all the nuances, that actually leads into the next, in my opinion, the next topic. And that is speed runs. Have you ever done them? And if so, or if you've ever thought about doing, what game would you do it? And the main part about speedruns is you need that proficiency in games in order to do it.
I guess you could say that at speed, like my extent to probably speed running, it would be like an online game, like an MMO or an action RPG, trying to level up a different character.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've already gone through like, let's just say the main storyline. I was actually doing this yesterday, actually with Last Epoch, where they now released the online patch. Well, I've already done a bunch of my single player characters up to a certain level. So it was super quick for me to go through multiplayer now because you're not interchangeable, which makes sense.
Right.
So I took my online character. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to quickly like boost it myself basically, because I've done this enough where I know what I'm doing at this point.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah. So for me, that's where speedruns make sense in that regard. When you just want to get that different character with skills you've already done up to a certain level to kind of catch back up. I totally get. Or what you see too is like, if you have like built-in skill choices, but you want to try a different skill build, then you kind of have to speed run yourself up to that and then do a divergence of skills.
Right. For me, I think if you've been watching the Ultra Confusion Twitch channel, I think you've seen that I've been playing a ton of Dead Cells, and I'm basically doing speed runs at this point. I've yet to complete the entire thing, but I've played it so much that I'm playing at a much faster pace than I would have at the beginning, where I can easily make it to at least to the first boss, maybe the second boss, without too much issue. That being said, one of the reasons for that is because in games like Dead Cell and other games, you're going to die a lot. However, after you die, there's a chance that you've unlocked additional stuff, which allows you to do more in the run. One of the things about Dead Cells is you could potentially, I think you could do a run from end to end if you're really effing lucky, without any of the extra stuff. However, the extra stuff will definitely help you. There's these runes that you can pick up that allow you to do. Actually, no, you'd at least have to have one rune to do the run because, yeah. Anyways, but the runes allow you to do more stuff, open up more areas that allows for more branching, and then it comes back together. And you can also open up more weapons. You can upgrade the amount of health potions you have at your disposal, that kind of stuff. So have I actually recorded a speed run? No, but I think at this point, if you watch me play Dead Cell, every single one is pretty close to a speed run. I'm not trying to take my time. I'm trying to fly through certain sections so I could get to the areas that I have trouble with.
Well, kind of related to that, I have a question for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually watching, it was a Diablo 4 video, kind of overview actually from Asmongold.
Mm-hmm.
And what it brought up was, so kind of like I was saying earlier, the idea of kind of built-in skills. And so apparently what happened with Diablo 4 is early on, it's very easy to change your skills. But as you get later into the game, like a certain level, it becomes like very difficult to change your skills.
Mm-hmm.
And the premise from the developer is basically it then the whole idea is it then requires gamers to really think about those skills and what do they want to do with those skills.
Mm-hmm.
And to which I would say that's complete bollocks for two reasons. In my opinion, I want to hear what your thoughts are, but for two reasons for me. One is, in a lot of these games, if let's just say you play, I'm just making up a level. I don't know what the level in Diablo 4 is. Let's just say it's level 80.
Okay.
And you get up to that 80 and you realize, oh crap, I now have my sunk cost into a build that's not going to be able to do in-game content.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of gamers are just going to say, screwed, I'm done. I'm not going to play anymore because I can't respec it all.
Right.
And two, in the age of Twitter and YouTube, it actually reduces build viability because people are just going to go find the super meta and not even try out different builds.
Yep.
And it actually kills build variety. Like, that's why I like Last Epoch, is because you do lose a little bit by changing your skills, but you get them back pretty quickly with the way the skill system works. Mm-hmm. I like it because it makes you think about it, but it's not harsh to change it. There's a little bit of penalty, so you just don't do it every second, but you kind of really have to think about it. So to me, that's a great compromise. You lose a little bit, but you can still change it without a problem. So, but if you just can't change it at all, at that point, I'm like, no, that's just, to me, that's a very old way of thinking about video games.
I agree. I think that we're to the point of this like, pick and choose customization thing where we want to see what truly sticks, and sometimes what sticks at the beginning does not stick at the end. Now, to circle back to the game that I've been playing a shit ton of, Dead Cell, one of the things is you get what's called mutations. You get 3 mutations. One of them is basically gives you a second life. Another one gives you like the ability to there's a percentage chance that you will regain life upon a successful hit. And for most of those mutations, you have the ability, though it's going to cost you, you have the ability to basically respec between levels. So let's say that was a great, those mutations were great for the first 3 levels, but now that I'm past the 3rd level, this is because of the way that I've been building my character, it's no longer to work. You pay the penalty and you can reset what you have, which I think is, I think that's fine. I mean, if you could
pay like a bit of a penalty to like respec, that I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Like that I'm like okay with, because again, I think that's kind of the happy middle ground.
Yeah. With Dead Cell, you always have 2 main weapons and then you have 2 skills. And as you progress through the game, it's a little like Borderlands in a way, because there's a very good chance you're going to keep like switching stuff out, and so you only have 2 of each. So you gotta at least think before you go. But at the same time, as you progress through the game, you're going to have a higher level item or skill that's going to possibly pop up randomly for you. However, there are also those fucking items or skills that just that are required to get through certain sections, but will absolutely dick you over, and you have to lose one of your favorite skills, which is no bueno. For anyone who's played Dead Cells, the ossuary is a piece of shit.
That is a tricky proposition.
Well, they make you pick up this one skill, and it allows you to light these lanterns so the miasma doesn't kill you. Because if the lanterns aren't lit, the miasma will literally just start leeching the life out of you. So by the time you get there, though, you've got some pretty slick skills that you have to give up one of to get this like absolutely worthless thing outside of that one level.
That sounds like a more of a frustrating mechanic than anything else, to be honest.
Yes. But to go back, I think we're truly to the point where skills should be interchangeable, but the one penalty that that you would incur is that if you switch out to a skill that you haven't used, you have to basically build it back up. Kind of like every single skill has a leveling system. So if you've used, fire breathing the entire game, and then you decided that fire breathing is not going to help me through the volcanic section, so I've got to, I'm going to go to walls of ice, but I've never used it before. Yeah, it's going to be weak, but so you're going to take a huge hit with your spec, but at the same time, you're able to level it up and hopefully survive.
That's what Last Epoch does. So what they do is they have but as you level up your character level, when you swap to your wall of ice, it also now has a minimum level already invested into it. So there's like a happy medium. So you don't have to start back at level 1. There's like a base level for all your skills if you change to them. So you already have some mastery in them.
Yeah.
And that increases as you play the game too.
Which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah, no, it works for me. I'm like, I'll take that and then it's not bad to change skills when you feel like.
Well, how about this? There are quite a few games out there that have they have a skill tree, right? And you get skill points for every single level up, and you have to allocate them.
Yes.
There are games out there that have at sometimes a steep penalty that allows you to basically respec everything. So it takes all the points out, and you have to basically rebuild it from there.
Yeah.
It's a possible solution.
Yeah. No, that works for me. Yeah, I just like the idea of being able to respec within reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, like your skills and your passes and that stuff, because people don't want to be frustrated or hamstrung. And again, I think it comes down to, especially nowadays, there's also so many games and varieties that you can try out where if you end up with a bad build you can't respec, you're just going to play something else. Or you're just going to look on to YouTube and figure out what the best build is and not try anything out of the, ordinary.
Right.
And that's why I don't like concrete skill builds, is because and then if you want to check out the meta later, sure, go for it. But I know when I'm leveling up in games, if there's not a concrete skill set that I can later reset, I like to pick my own skills. And then if I have to later for raids and stuff, okay, now I'll look at the meta. But at least to start off and all that stuff, it's fun to find your own skills and be like, oh, wow, this is actually really cool scenariization that maybe it's not the ultimate meta, but it still works pretty damn well for me.
Yeah, I agree. All right. My answer is going to be no to this next one, but I'm going to ask anyways.
All right.
Can there ever be a successful console outside the big three?
I would say yes. And the reason I would say yes is because we've seen rise and fall of systems over the years. I mean, 20, 30, 40 years from now, who knows what could actually happen. So that's why I'd say yes, it's possible. I'm not saying it's likely.
Right.
But I'm saying, is it possible? Sure. I mean, Microsoft created one after Nintendo and Sony and Sega were all established.
What about Atari, man? Don't forget about Atari.
So I think it is possible. Well, okay. Take, for instance, the Steam Deck, right?
Yep.
I know it's not technically a console, but the way it's handheld, it kind of straddles the line a little bit.
Speaking of Steam Decks, they're finally on sale.
I saw that for the first time ever. It's 10% off.
Still not enough for me to go buy one, but
no, I'm not going to. I mean, it would be cool to
have one.
Where I would like to have a Steam Deck is like when I'm at my job and like in between tickets, just pick up the Steam Deck, take a few turns, another ticket, play it again. Like, so there would be some pretty cool things about it, but at the end of the day, no, I'm not getting one.
Agreed.
I would tell somebody like if they're starting off with a PC or like going to college and they want like a gaming device, and there's definitely use cases for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, also doing streaming and stuff probably doesn't really have a great use case for it either.
No.
So I don't think there will be. It'll be very hard. I think the other big issue too now would be the barrier of entry for cost.
Right.
To build one from the ground up, get all the developers and publishers on hand.
Yeah.
It would just be super hard.
It would have to, in order to truly succeed, I think what would have to occur is that this brand new console would have to have a very similar architecture to one of the existing consoles out there, so that it would be easy for them to port their games over to the system.
I mean, that's kind of what Steam already tried to do, not the Steam Deck, but the
Steam Box.
Yeah, they already kind of tried to do that in a way with that. So I think it's been tried. It's just not likely because if you have to think about it, if there's like, let's just say there's this hypothetical fourth console, like what value added does it bring to the market that doesn't already exist? I mean, technically you don't really need both the PlayStation and Xbox. They really could serve the exact same audience. I'm glad there's both because competition's good, but really just Nintendo or one or the other, life would go on.
Yeah.
And you probably have almost exactly the same ecosystem as we have now, really. Nintendo doing their thing and then Sony/Microsoft doing their thing. You kind of have two ends of the console. But I think with the three, it's like you already kind of have that tripod of they kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, and I also think that it's just the only like you would have to be something super duper special. I mean, you see Amazon and Google having dipped their toe into the console gaming thing by doing cloud gaming, and look how not well that's gone. I think technically Amazon Luna is still there, but of course Stadia's gone. So
yeah, I mean,
and those are companies with lots of money.
Now I could see down the road Apple doing more with the Apple TV and kind of make it into a gaming console. Mm-hmm. That's always a possibility. But again, we're also looking at games that cost more and more money all the time to produce.
Well, the other thing is that it would make more sense for Apple than another company, simply because Apple already has platforms where there is a game library.
Yeah,
and
they do have the gaming subscription service. So yeah. I guess in a way, you already kind of have another console out there with the Apple TV.
Yeah, I just don't consider it that.
No, I don't either. But it's one of those things where like Apple doesn't always know what they want to market their Apple TV as, so they just let it do a little bit of everything.
That sounds like Google.
I still think if Google had not given up, they could have made the Stadia work. I'm not saying like now.
Right.
But I still think cloud computing is the future for gaming. And I still think if they'd stuck with it, it would have almost been like the Amazon, where there'd be like the main company behind this service. Mm-hmm. And when I say Amazon, I mean for home delivery products, like basically Sears would have been. Mm-hmm. And I think with basically Google and really Amazon both giving up, they basically have let that pass of really what I think eventually is going to be the way of gaming. Is it's all going to be basically remote services for a game at some point.
But that infrastructure's got to be there.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know when it's going to be. I mean, if it was, I'd
Right.
be, I'd be a venture capitalist myself.
Yeah.
But I think at some point it's going to happen. I think it's inevitable, honestly.
Yeah. It's inevitable. It's just, VR, true VR gaming is inevitable. But we've been saying that since like the early 90s.
I have been playing a little bit of the PS5 VR too.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. I don't get motion sickness off of it, which is nice because previous VR products I definitely have.
Can you see your feet?
Not when I'm in game. Like if I do like the HUD mode where like I see my surroundings, yes, I can see everything.
Because I know that a lot of the issues from previous VR projects is when individuals can't really judge like height and depth. That's what makes them a little kooky.
Well, I mean, like, because when I'm playing, I'm pretty much standing still. Like, I'm standing with my joysticks. I don't know what the proper name for them are. My joystick things with my helmet. And I'm kind of standing. My biggest issue is I can't make my damn earbuds stay in. Because it's the 360 sound, which they sound great. But
when they're in?
Yeah, but my one of them keeps on falling out. And I'm like, it drives me nuts. But no, man, it's cool. I've been playing a lot of Tetris on it.
Okay. Sure.
It's a very therapeutic, calming game on VR. I know it sounds weird and bizarre. However, I do have one major gripe with the game.
What's that?
Well, actually, I changed the controls, so it's fine now. But basically, there's no D-pad on your controls. And so when you're controlling the joystick, because you still have to move stuff with your joystick, when you're moving your joystick, like going straight up and down versus left and right just did not feel natural at all.
Gotcha.
So I was able to change the control, so it's fine now. But for a while playing it, I'm like, this is really obnoxious because like I try going like over, I go like fast down instead. I'm like, oh, where's my D-pad when I need it? Because that you can feel, but the joystick is just because like you move your hand kind of like that with the thing.
Yep.
But no, it's cool. It's nice. My next game I'm playing on it, it's going to be actually something you'd probably appreciate would be the Resident Evil game.
Nice.
Apparently, it scares the shit out of people.
I was gonna say a horror game, either Resident Evil or the first Dead Space, since the new Dead Space is out.
Is it VR? I don't remember seeing it on the.
I don't know if it is VR or not, but it should be if it's not.
I don't think, when I was looking, because I was just filtering by VR games, I don't remember seeing Dead Space on it.
It should be, damn it. Anyways.
Yeah, so that'll be my next game. So if I come whimpering to you, you'll know why.
Got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a pause real quick to thank the amazing friends of the show. These are the people who help Alter Confusion be the Alter Confusion that you love and adore. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. And let's start off with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout out we got to give to is... Wow, the next shout-out we have to give is to Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously WhackKid47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. I will warn you, though, since he is currently in transition from being in Charleston, South Carolina to the state of Utah, that his schedule is probably a little bit filled right now.
Yep. Yeah, moving cross country like that will definitely fill up your bucket of time.
Indeed. The next shout out we got to give to is to Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic's unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They're committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. The next shout out we got to give is to the music maestro himself, CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Alta Confusion? CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he could do for you. The final shout out we got to give is to the OG, the original patron of Alta Confusion. That, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both the development team and system administration team working on satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings and many times during, he is the Agile evangelist Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development, and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, go to agileaxiom.com.
Yes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are dying to find out, how do I become a friend of the show? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to tell you. I'm about to wow you. And that, of course, is, ladies and gentlemen, Alta Confusion survives and loves support of fans like you. And so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, werewolves, mummies, vampires, and much more, to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. Currently, we have 2 tiers that you can pledge at. There's the $1 a month or $12 a year tier. And what that will get you is early access to all of our playthroughs, as well as patron-only posts that will appear on Patreon. If you're feeling a little frisky, you go up to the $5 tier. Not only does it give you everything at the $1 tier, so it's $5 a month or $60 a year. Not only do you get everything at the $1 tier, but you also gain your name or organization added to every single thank you section of Thursday Night Hangouts. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to become a patron of Alta Confusion today, all you got to do is go to Patreon, patreon.com/altered confusion. Now, before I go into the next one, I have to take a drink, so I apologize real quick.
Drink all you need, sir.
Oh, wow. And my camera, once again, is super out of focus. I don't know what's going on.
No. You look like you've had too many to drink. It's like blurry vision from too much happy juice.
All right, here we go. This is something that's very important to Alta Confusion. That is, ladies and gentlemen, Alta Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 12 straight years. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion today. All right, I've got to restart this camera apparently because what? Let's see.
You break it.
I don't know. There we go. And I'm back. Ha ha ha.
Look at you. I had wait, I had lots of faith. All the faith.
Of course. Yes. Faith. Yes. Yes. All right. So, as anyone who's ever played a video game for more than 8, 9, 10 years could tell you, there are fads that go through the video game industry. Now, of course, we've been basically holding on to the zombie fad for God knows how long. So the question that was presented to me was, what do you think is the next thing to be exploited in upcoming games?
First-person shooters. Oh wait. Space aliens. Oh wait. Emo anime characters. Oh wait. I don't know. I feel that honestly. Rogue games.
If I have to go, yeah, I think rogue games. Actually, to be honest with you, I think if we're gonna go genre, I would say collectible card rogue game.
Oh,
where the rogue
yes,
game
yes.
is dependent on the cards that you collect during gameplay.
I would say you're definitely right. Yes.
Now,
which I mean, it makes sense if you're especially a smaller developer. It gives you a lot of potential replayability without having to necessarily create new content because the content's all locked behind the whole point of being replayability.
Yep.
So I get why it's a thing. As you know, it's not necessarily my genre, but I understand why people like it a
lot. If I had to go with like thematically, I would say, I don't know why I want to say this, but I want to say that dinosaurs are going to make a comeback.
Dinosaurs?
Yeah, I think that you're going to see more dino-based games.
That Ark game. Well, you got the Ark game.
Yep.
And then you have all the Monster Hunter games.
You got that new movie with oh crap, what's his name? The guy who plays Kylo Ren in Star Wars.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he's making, what was the name of the movie? Like, oh shit, I can't remember what it is. Adam Driver is the actor. And it's like this movie where it's a futuristic thing, but somehow they end up on a planet that's ruled by dinosaurs. So it's like him with like futuristic weapons trying to save his family from dinosaurs. So yeah, that would be the next big theme. It's going to be dinosaurs. It's going to be It's going to be time traveling humans who have to deal with a dinosaur outbreak.
The Land Before Time?
Yeah, but there are no humans in the Land Before Time.
Oh, there were in my version.
I don't know what version you were watching.
You just gotta use your imagination, man. It's all the voices in my head.
Oh well, the voices in your head, that's something different.
Uh-huh. And that's why I'm always right, because of the voices in my head.
Well, one of the voices is always right. Doesn't have to be yours.
No, my voice is always right in my head.
You can't claim all the voices in your head.
Whose voices would they be if they're not my voices in my head? I'm very confused now.
There's hidden characters in your head.
Yeah, but they're still my hidden characters. I just don't know that they exist. They're locked behind.
I don't know. Maybe maybe a third party hacker added that voice into your head.
Ooh. I mean, I guess if there was a third-party voice in my head, how would I know if it's actually my voice or this third-party voice making it happen, trying to make me believe it's my voice?
Exactly.
Ooh.
Make your head hurt now, huh?
That's what the voices in my head tell me.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There was a bit of news that came out today, and that is the CEO of Twitch has resigned.
Ooh. After how many years?
16 years.
I mean, they've made quite the impression over 16 years. I mean, obviously they have their hiccups along the way, but they are the leader in video game streaming, for better or for worse.
Yep.
I mean, they obviously have done very well under the stewardship, and now who knows where Amazon will take it in years to come.
Yes. Now, of course, the reason why he is stepping away, which I don't know if this is the actual reason, but this is a pretty good reason coming from having gone through this as well. One of his main factors is that he recently became a father for the very first time, and he wants to put more focus on his family.
That's a very solid reason. And I would also say, maybe this is a bit cynical, but being the CEO of Twitch, he probably is financial well enough where he never actually has to work again.
No, absolutely, yeah.
You would
I mean,
hope.
there's a bunch of professional athletes that once they become a family man, they don't have, you know, if they're not like the uber top of the, top of the mountain, that if they've made enough money, they'll step away so that they could actually still walk. If you're a football player, they could still walk your kid, down the aisle for when they get married or something.
I'm not worried so much about can I walk. Is my brain going to remember who that is I'm walking down the aisle?
That too.
Unfortunately.
That too. So I will fully admit that I took the plunge and I bought
The
Hogwarts
polo
Legacy.
plunge? Oh. And
I have to say that it's a pretty solid game. Thankfully, thanks to Dr. Ryan Moore of Hero Chiropractic, I found out that there's a way to not look like a total psychopath. As is the case with most RPGs, you're collecting equipment. You're collecting a hat, gloves, a cape, clothes, all that stuff. And of course, to get the strongest combo, you're going to be mix and matching. So I had like a green floppy hat with this weird ass mask that covers my entire face, with this like disgusting orange scarf around my neck. It's basically like my character dressed in the dark, ready to kill or blow up Hogwarts. That's what my character looked like. Thankfully, Dr. Ryan showed me that there is a way to make your character look the way you want to, but still get the added benefits from all the random shit that you've got.
It's like a good built-in wardrobe system.
Yes.
Nice.
So you basically can equip something and then you do change look to, and then you could choose something, a different look in your wardrobe.
So what house did you choose?
The selection, oh my gosh. The hat put me in Ravenclaw, which is exactly where I've always said I would go. So
I thought you could pick if you wanted to.
You could. Okay. But they ask you a couple questions, and then based off the answers, they're like, I think you're going to be in Ravenclaw. And then like they give you the option, or do you think we got it wrong? And if you got it wrong, then you can select whatever house you want to go to.
It's like that scene in Harry Potter where they briefly thought about changing houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
The one weird thing about the story of Hogwarts Legacy is that your character is going to be a fifth year coming for your first time at Hogwarts. So, and it makes sense that it has to be an older person or older character with where the storyline goes.
Okay.
So, but yes, I will say that it is an open world game, and I may have done a little bit too much exploring early on. And to unlock some stuff that you have to do in the game, they're like, okay, you have to successfully dodge 5 attacks. But here's the problem. I've been roaming around so much and leveling up that nothing can attack me. It's like literally I could blow anything away.
You broke the game.
So it's like, but I have to. And the other thing is that a lot of the enemies don't actually charge you. The only reason why you would dodge is if someone's trying to go hand to hand with you. But hello, you're a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. And so you're going to be using your wand, and a lot of creatures are going to be far away. And even if they get close up to you, they might not charge you. And the only way to do a successful dodge is if the character charges you. So that was a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Did you figure out how to finally dodge?
Oh no, I knew how to dodge. I knew, but trying to coax an enemy into actually attacking me to allow me to do the dodge, that was the problem.
You eventually got that figured out, though?
Yeah. because
it took you a little bit longer than you intended.
But the sad thing is that you in order to complete one of the main missions, you have to have Expelliarmus unlocked.
Okay,
and in order to get Expelliarmus unlocked, you had to do that successful dodge and some other stuff. And the other stuff was easy. But here's the thing. I completed that quest, and guess what? I never had to use Expelliarmus.
What?
Yeah.
Are you even a real wizard?
I mean, I've got it unlocked. I've got a shit ton of spells unlocked. And once you've completed that one, thank God, you have the ability to have more than just the 4 hot buttons, because you're going to be you're going to be playing with the controller, most likely. So you have your A, B, X, Y, and at the beginning of the game, you're going to have you'll start opening up spells, and then you'll just add it to the wheel. And the unfortunate thing is, if you're like me and you're an explorer, you're going to have to keep changing out those spells because you only have 4 slots. But after you complete the quest that you require Expelliarmus on, then you have the ability to start unlocking additional ones. So in order to call up the spells, you hold the right trigger and you hit one of the buttons. But once you've unlocked the additional thing, you hit right trigger and then you hit the D-pad, and it will switch between, I think you can have up to 4 when you unlock them. So now I have the ability to quickly rotate, so I don't have to constantly have to go back through and reset my hotkeys every single time I need that spell one time.
You can't just shoot fire bullets nonstop and win?
No, because you'll need to repair stuff or illuminate something or go invisible or set something on fire or pull it towards you or make it levitate or make the enemy's weapon fly out of their hands. Expelliarmus!
That's kind of mean of you sounding.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Don't take away their toys. They're just trying to have fun.
Yeah. So I think you're supposed to be about a level 3 or 4 when you go and do that quest. Yeah, I'm a level 19.
Good Lord, Joe. Did you already beat the game? You didn't even do all the quest lines?
No, you can't. You have to do the you have to do specific things to unlock spells to allow for the continuation of the game.
That makes sense.
You have to attend certain classes, and then after those classes, the professors give you extra work, and that extra work will then open up the ability to learn a new spell. But the extra work is the most mundane ass shit. It's like busy work, like the dodge 5 times, or you have to have try to use this potion in combat. I'm like, I don't need that potion, but okay. Oh, you also have limited inventory.
Anyways.
You also have limited inventory when it comes to your equipment. So if you're running around like I am and you're opening a bunch of chests, you're getting a ton of equipment, you got to keep an eye on how much you have, because there's going to be a time going, oh, but I'm out of space. And you got to go find a vendor and sell it. Though it is really weird. So in Hogwarts Legacy, you're collecting a bunch of potion ingredients, right? You can't sell that shit. I have an overabundance of some of these ingredients, but I can't sell them. I can only sell the hats, the shirts, the gloves, the whatever else. It's so stupid.
It sounds like they're trying to be very helpful.
Well, early on in the game, the price tag on some of the stuff is just astronomical. It's how the hell am I ever going to have this much money? And then if you're like me and you've been roaming around all over the place, I've got that much money.
Do you have enough money?
Yeah.
You got it. You got it figured out.
Yeah, just over game, and then go. Oh shit! I should be doing this.
But that's your RPG strategy, though. You always like being super OP'd. Mm-hmm. Is your way of doing it, and it sounds like you've done that very successfully.
Yes. Though one thing that I learned going back to Dead Cells is that you do not want to have a well-rounded character. You have three different, basically, you have three different skills or areas that you get to put your points in. And if you evenly space it, yeah, you're going to have a lot of health. However, the later in the game you get, the more hits are going to be required to take down an enemy. But if you throw like everything into, I think brutality is the one that's mostly melee, you might not have a lot of health, but man, do you pack a punch.
It sounds like that works.
Yeah. So, but yeah. I do want to apologize for those patrons out there who are like, where the hell are our early access playthroughs? Thanks to this wonderful allergies, my brain is completely like cotton candy. I can't think straight. And yes, you've seen me play Dead Cells because at this point it's muscle memory. I don't think that I have the attention span to truly give you I could record myself playing some games and throw it up there, but I want to give you a true, playthrough experience where you actually get to hear some of my inner thoughts as I try to do it and not me basically drooling on the mic because my brain's gone again.
But where did your brain go, sir?
It ran away when when Mother Nature decided to kick me in the nuts over and over and over again.
That's not cool, man.
It's not because I really want to write the review for Kenna Bridge of Spirits because it's a great game and I want people to check it out. But literally, I can't get past the second sentence without me going, words no good. So I apologize.
Where did the words go?
I'll fix it.
I think you're losing your words in your cough, sir.
Yeah, yep. All my words are getting lost with every single cough. You should have heard me at the beginning of the week. It was much worse than this.
But see, this frozen weather, it's helped to clear things out, right?
No. It's the added wonders of nose spray.
Of what?
Nose spray.
Ah, there you go.
So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, before we go into any more of Charlie's personal hygiene and drug regimen, I think we've reached the end of our show. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zelius, it's been a pleasure giving you to cover our heads, our mouths, and, of course, our hearts. We'll be back soon with another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. Huzzah! We've made it.
Are you live over there?
I'm alive.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried.
Nope, I'm alive. Fun. So anyways. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to cut this stream short because I have two heathens who are unsupervised upstairs. So I got to make sure that they haven't done anything that will come back on me poorly.
Or it sounds like you need some more nasal spray. All the nasal spray.
Well, yeah, I need another round of that and probably another steam shower. So, yeah, fun times. Fun times had by all. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to talk to Zelius quickly offline, but until next time, which may be tonight, I might come back and stream some more Dead Cells because that's what I've been doing every single night. So, we'll see.
That's it.